Thank you, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do salute this revered land which has harbored the light of the world, Lord Gautama Buddha, whose light is incomparable and irreplaceable, ladies and gentlemen. If you allow, I'd like to share with you what I read somewhere. People, when they carried their puzzlement to the Buddha, when they asked, out of puzzlement, what are you? Meaning, what order of being are you, or what species? In their puzzlement to see the stature of Buddha, unlike so many other beings of his kind, said, I am awake. I repeat, he said, I am awake. Ladies and gentlemen, thus the name, the enlightened one, the awakened one. We all gather here in the land of ultimate pilgrimage, the land of ultimate awakening, the land which gave us the revered Buddha, who devoted his whole life to seek and propound the philosophy of Eightfold Path, which was all about, as you all know, of wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. Distinguished guests, the two-day international conference, which begins in a moment formally, is being marked on the eve of the 2562nd Buddha Jayanti. And at this time, we all are very much aware, and I know you will agree, that Buddha's teachings are gaining more importance and more relevance. In celebrating this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, we commemorate the three great events: the birth, the enlightenment, and the Mahaparivarana. As we bow down in respect, in harmony, to the light of awakening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizers, welcome to the International Buddhist Conference 2018. We could not be happier to host to you all this particular event in this sacred and beautiful World Heritage Site. Thank you so much for adding that value, for adding that ambience by your very presence. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, to make this welcome formal, I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Krishna Prasad Devkota, the Secretary at the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, for the formal welcome remark.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. Respected Chairman, Chief Guest, Honorable Minister, Special Guest, Honorable Minister of State, Honorable Provincial Ministers, Honorable Monks and Nuns, Members of Parliament, Your Excellencies, respected national and international scholars, paper presenters, and delegates, government officials, ladies and gentlemen. This gives me great honor and privilege to welcome you to the August gathering of the inaugural ceremony of International Buddhist Conference being held in the Holy Land, the birthplace of Shakyamuni Buddha, for 2 days. I would take this opportunity to extend my gratitude and thankfulness to the chief guest, special guest, and all the eminent personalities for accepting our invitation for this historic event. The International Conference on the theme Lumbini, Nepal, the birthplace of Lord Buddha and the foundation of Buddhism and world peace, is being held amidst great scholarly papers from national and international researchers and scholars. I am delighted to acknowledge the participation of 23 countries in the conference as well as the Buddha Jayanti celebration being held here on 30th April, only 2 days from now. There will be 33 papers on a wide variety of issues pertaining Buddhism. The papers will be collected and compiled for publication so that they will be great resources for future studies, research works and reference materials for the scholars from around the world. We are confident that the issue covered in the papers is great interest of everyone present here and readers from tomorrow. Scholars have put a great deal of efforts to delve in the subject matter and explore something new and innovative. I hope you all will enjoy the sessions. The main objectives of organizing these events are highlight and promote Lumbini, Nepal as the birthplace of Lord Buddha, to expand the studies of Buddhist philosophy internationally, to establish Lumbini as the center for Buddhism and world peace, and to promote Nepal as a major pilgrim destination in the world. The conference coincides the day of Buddha Purnima, the day when all three major events of the Buddha took up place: birth, enlightenment, and Mahaparinirvana. We hope this will opportune us to give greater international mileage to this historic event. I trust you conference will give us new insight and provide better understanding of Buddhism and Buddhist philosophy and its pertinence in the present global scenario. Once again, I welcome Honorable Minister and all dignitaries on this August gathering and wish the conference and Buddha Jayanti celebration a grand success. Bhavatu Sambha Mangalam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed. आदरणीय महानुभावहरू, आज हामी अत्यन्तै हर्षित छौँ तपाईहरूको यस्तो उत्साहवर्धक उपस्थितिका कारण। यसले नै दर्शाउँछ अहिले बुद्धका टिचिङ्सहरूका, बुद्धको सान्दर्भिकता, उहाँले जुन ज्योतिर्मय बनाउनु भयो हामीलाई, यसको सान्दर्भिकता यसै उपस्थितिले पनि बढाउँछ र हामी अत्यन्तै आभारका साथ र सम्मानका साथ स्वागत पनि गर्न चाहन्छौँ। आज हामी माझ यस प्रदेशका माननीय मन्त्रीज्यूहरू, पूर्व मन्त्रीज्यूहरू, माननीय सांसदज्यूहरू, सभासदज्यूहरू सम्पूर्णको उपस्थिति रहेको छ। यहाँहरूलाई धेरै आभार व्यक्त गर्दै यस अग्रपङ्क्तिमा आसन ग्रहण गरिदिनु हुन पनि हामी यसै मञ्चबाट आग्रह गर्दछौँ। Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, Buddha is light. And you know, light has no end. A light symbolic of enlightenment, coming from wisdom, energy, and compassion, which only can nourish good faith, harmony, and happiness in this world. And this is what the present world needs, to do away with the chaos that is intensifying by the day. And this is why the conference finds its relevance, an added relevance, ladies and gentlemen. Let us now visualize this light emanating from our hearts, from each of your hearts, as we witness the formal inauguration of this conference. May I now place my humble request to the Honorable Chief Guest, following the truest Nepali tradition, to light the traditional panas and mark the formal beginning of the International Buddhist Conference 2018. So, and to our foreign friends, a panas is a traditional oil-fed lamp It is placed right here in front of the stage. You can see that later on if the vision is disrupted at the moment. And lighting of this is considered very auspicious before any new beginning. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you so much for doing the honors. And this is the light that we want to spread across the world, right here, from the sacred land of Lumbini, ladies and gentlemen. And now, this marks the formal beginning of the two-day conference that has formally seen its inauguration at this very moment. To shed light on the conference, the activities, and of course the outputs, I have the pleasure of requesting revered Professor Nareshman Bajracharya, the Vice Chancellor of Lumbini Buddhist University.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namaha Sanghaya, Sarva Buddhang Namasyami, Dharmancha Jinabhasitam, Sanghancha Sila Sampannam, Ratnatrayam Namastude. So I salute Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Venerable Metia, the chair of this conference, and chief guest, Honorable Minister of Culture and Civil Aviation, Rabindra Adhikariju. Similarly, another our special guest, Dhanbahadur Buddha, the State Minister of Culture and Civil Aviation, and keynote speaker, Professor Robin Cunningham, and other respected, highly respected, most venerable monks on the dais, and also Secretary of Minister of Education and Culture, and Minister of Culture and Civil Aviation, and in front, honorable ministers, ex-ministers, parliament members, Sangha, other scholars from abroad, and also scholars from home, and participants, and also media. I am assigned a duty to highlight about this conference, which is I am going to speak on here. Nepal is the homeland of Buddhas, where three mortal Buddhas, including the historical Buddha Sakyamuni, was born in 7th century BC at Lumbini, where we are now. The region is dotted with the hundreds of archaeological sites dating back to 1300 BC to later periods. The cultural landscape of Nepal is shaped with the living tradition of Buddhist practices, where a great number of Buddhist Sanskrit literature have been preserved for the past several centuries. The sacred landscape of Lumbini and the surrounding region, including Kapilavastu, Devadaha, Ramagram, etc., bear immense significance in the Buddhist tradition. The first and second World Buddhist Summit were held in 1998 and 2004, respectively, in Lumbini. Yet another International Buddhist Conference was held in 2016 in Lumbini, which was conducted with grand success under the dynamic leadership of the then Prime Minister K.P. Oli, with full of nationalistic spirit and a long-term vision, lead as chairperson of the main organizing committee with the main theme, Lumbini, Nepal, the birthplace of Lord Buddha, and the fountain of Buddhism and world peace. At that conference, 23 scholarly papers and 18 from abroad and 5 from Nepal were presented. I would like to recall the gathering of international scholars unanimously endorsed the main theme of the conference and subsequently promulgated the 10-point Lumbini Declaration 2016. It is worth mentioning here that on 3rd March 2018, the then Wood Prime Minister K.P. Oli, while addressing the grand event organized at Tundikhel, Kathmandu, as to recite Dhammapada by 1,2600 people simultaneously to get enlisted in the Guinness Book of World Record and to publicize the nation of the Buddha was born in Nepal, announced that the 62nd Buddha Jayanti will be celebrated along with International Buddhist Conference with a great splendor. Soon after, he was appointed as Prime Minister for the second time. The Council of Ministers formally decided to celebrate 2562 and 62nd Buddha Jayanti and International Buddhist Conference as a result. We are gathering here at this inaugural session. The Lumbini Development Trust, under the Ministry of Culture and Tourism and Civil Aviation, Government of Nepal, took lead in organizing this 62nd Buddha Jayanti ceremony and International Buddhist Conference from 28th to 30th April 2018 in Lumbini, Nepal. At this moment, we not only gather at this ceremony, but entire Nepalese and the peace-loving people of entire world would not stay without expressing sincere thanks to the Right Honorable Prime Minister. In a sense, this conference is second, a sequel of the one before. It carried on the themes that the previous conference embarks. However, 3 additional objectives along with 6 additional sub-themes are added to the previous one. I believe the paper being presented by the national and international scholar will enable us to meet the objectives of this conference. We, the participants, would be benefited from the knowledge and wisdom shared herein. I'm now going to just recite the objectives of this main conference. This International Buddhist Conference is being organized to commemorate the 3 great events, the birth, the enlightenment, and the Mahaparinirvana of Lord Sakyamuni Buddha. It aims to disseminate the teachings of Buddha, the message of non-violence, brotherhood, coexistence, love, peace, etc. to the international community. It will help to propagate and enhance the importance and the glory of Lumbini in the international arena. I believe this event will help Lumbini to develop into an international hub for Buddhism, spiritually as well as academically, and eventually promote as a center of excellence for world peace. This event is being celebrated with the support and participation of national and international Buddhist organizations. The objectives of this event are to highlight Lumbini, Nepal as the birthplace of Lord Buddha and the fountain of Buddhism and world peace in the international arena. Develop the Greater Lumbini area as an international Buddhist hub and promote sustainable development of the region. Establish Lumbini, Nepal as a center for interfaith and peace dialogue. Develop Lumbini, Nepal as a center of excellences for Buddhist studies and widen the heritage, culture, and the pilgrimage tourism of Nepal. The event, so I would like to highlight the events and the modality. The celebration consists of 2 major events, that is International Buddhist Conference on 28th April and the first half of 29th April, and the following day on 30th April 2562, the Buddha Jayanti celebration take place on 30th April in Lumbini. As the conference on 28th April, 31 papers presenters and 31 paper presentators that include venerable monks and Buddhist scholars from home and abroad present scholarly papers, and 13 13 sub-themes under the main theme as follows. The main theme of the conference is Lumbini, Nepal, the birthplace of Lord Buddha and the fountain of Buddhism and world peace. And the sub-themes of the conference are Lumbini, the axis of Buddhist pilgrimage circuit and tourism. Second, Buddhist heritage of Greater Lumbini area. Third, archaeology and new discoveries in Lumbini and peripherals. Fourth, the Buddha and his threefold body, the philosophical approach. Fifth, Buddhism for nature conservation. Sixth, violence and Buddhistic conflict resolution. Seventh, applying Buddhist values for social upliftment and serenity. Eighth, Buddhism and gender issues, current scenario. Ninth, common Buddhist heritage of South Asia region. 10th, Buddhist art and history of Himalayan region in Nepal. 11th, Nepal, the land of Buddhas and repository of Buddhist Sanskrit literature. 12th, Nepalese Buddhist masters and artists, contribution for the Buddhism in Asia. And last, Buddhism in South Asia. The International Conference Management Committee, in order to conduct this conference in splendiferous and international conference, Management Committee was formed with the Venerable Metya Sakya Putta, Vice Chairman of Lumbini Development Trust, as a coordinator, and myself as a Vice Chancellor of Lumbini Buddhist University as a joint coordinator and academic in charge. I personally and on behalf of Lumbini Buddhist University would like to express sincere thanks to the Lumbini Development Trust, Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, Government of Nepal for nominating me as the joint coordinator and academic in charge of the International Conference Management Committee. At this very moment, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to Right Honorable K.P. Sharma Oli, the Prime Minister of Nepal, for his gracious presence, and Honorable Rabindra Adhikari, Minister of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, for your presence as the chief guest in this event. Also, likewise, I am thankful to all the government officials for the same. I, from the bottom of my heart, would like to express my gratefulness to representatives of Buddhist organizations from Nepal and abroad, venerable Buddhist masters, respected scholars, and dignitaries who provided abstracts of this dear paper. I hope these abstracts will help the participants to grasp the essence of the papers being presented at the conference, and the readers will be benefited from scholarly insight. I do believe with the gracious presence of national and international Buddhist masters and scholars, and their valuable presentation at the conference will be well received and discussed in depth amongst the learned participants, and will certainly contribute to highlight the theme of conference. Despite adverse weather, we are gathering here in Lumbini, the birthplace of Lord Buddha. So we will able to germinate the Buddha nature within us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that brief overview. Ladies and gentlemen, with this highlight, now we present the conference badge to our dignitaries up on the stage. I request Salina and Lasita Bahinis to kindly present the conference badge to our dignitaries. First, the chief guest, the chairperson now, and to our special guests, and to all the guests who are seated up on the dais. As this goes on, ladies and gentlemen, let me share a saying of Buddha. He had said, or Buddha said, just as treasures are uncovered from the earth, so virtues appear from good deeds, and wisdom appears from a pure and peaceful mind. To walk safely through the maze of human life, one needs the light of wisdom and the guidance of virtue. As I share this, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to, on behalf of the organizers themselves, acknowledge and make a special mention of the most venerable bhikshus and bhikshunis who are present amidst us today. The presence of them is not just adding value to this conference, but I am sure, or we are very much confident, that this gives us that energy, that focus, and the knowledge that comes from us to move ahead and reap the best, not only from the conference, but also to fulfill the objectives that we bring along today. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure now of inviting Most Venerable Maitri Mahasthavir for presenting the 5 precepts.
I would like to request all the participants to join the hands and say after me. Repeat after me. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu micchachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.